Hello everyone, welcome back to Into Sports. I'm your host Evan. Today we're talking about Mac Jones, the 49ers. Could they pick Mac Jones? But before I do, please click that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. So the 49ers, as we know, traded up to the number 3 pick to presumptively, they're going to take a quarterback. We know that. And most people initially assumed the pick would be Justin Fields out of Ohio State. But almost every reporter and insider has said it's actually going to be Mac Jones from Alabama. And that doesn't please 49ers fans, to say the least, because they want the guy that's flashy, dynamic, he has a big arm, he's athletic, 4.4 speed, in Justin Fields. But former front office executive Mike Lombardi says 98% of the teams think the less athletic, less flashy Mac Jones will go to the 49ers at pick 3. Even though, 31 out of 32 teams is 97%. But you get the point. And Mac Jones is known as a system quarterback. Now, I don't really like that term, but it's relatively appropriate here. He's not super athletic, he doesn't have a rocket arm, and he's not running around making plays outside of structure when things break down like the other 4 first-round quarterbacks potentially in this draft. So normally if a coach picks a guy because he fits the system and he doesn't pick the best player, I rip the coach and I say, you got to adapt your system to fit your players, because that's what the great coaches do. If you pick Lamar Jackson, you got to incorporate some read option. You build around his skill set. If you have a quarterback with a weak arm, you don't take shots downfield all game. You change your offense to match your quarterback. But Kyle Shanahan's system, the coach of the 49ers, is so brilliant that I'll allow him to pick the best scheme fit, the guy he thinks best fits into his offense. Because he made Nick Mullins, who is Nathan Peterman level bad, look actually pretty good on the stat sheet. Well, but if Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan is your ideal quarterback, you aren't a great offensive mind. Well, is getting to the Super Bowl ideal? Because that's what Shanahan did with Matt Ryan. Is guiding to your quarterback to an MVP season ideal? Because that's also what Kyle Shanahan did with Matt Ryan. And I'll ask again, is getting to the Super Bowl ideal? Because that's what he also did with average Jimmy Garoppolo. And Matt Schaub had a 4,700-yard season under Kyle Shanahan. So if Shanahan has a specific type of quarterback he likes most, so what? The results of those quarterbacks speak for themselves. Because telling Kyle Shanahan which quarterback to draft is like telling an aerospace engineer how to make a more efficient rocket. If he thinks Mac Jones is the best fit for his offense, I won't criticize him for drafting Mac Jones. Well, but they didn't have to trade up to draft Mac Jones. Really? Because Carolina was in the quarterback market, clearly, and they worked with Mac Jones at the Senior Bowl, and reports were that they were impressed. So, in fact, they waited until after the 49ers traded up to likely take Mac Jones to then trade for Sam Darnold. Because the last thing Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch want to be doing is sitting in the draft room dropping 4-letter words because someone else traded up to draft Mac Jones right ahead of them. You get your guy because this decision potentially sets the table for the next decade. No hyperbole. And you may say, Mac Jones, 3 first-round picks? That's way too much. But you aren't accounting for the money. He will be on a rookie deal for the next 5 years. So you're essentially trading draft picks for cap space and an upgrade at quarterback. That way, when you're paying Mac Jones peanuts, you can sign all your great draft picks like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. And that's why we've seen so many quarterbacks in the Super Bowl on rookie deals. If Shanahan feels strongly that he's getting the 12th best quarterback in the sport for 5 years on a rookie deal, that's an absolute steal, even with the 3rd pick. And maybe he doesn't have the pure upside of Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Maybe top 5 quarterback is a less likely outcome for Mac Jones. And frankly, it is. But if he's the 12th best quarterback and you feel good, you feel strongly that he's a safe pick, 12th best quarterback, he's totally worth it. Because are you really going to sign guys like Fred Warner and Brandon Ayuk, two really great young players, if you're paying a quarterback like Garoppolo $25 or $30 million? I doubt it. And 3 first-round picks, that's what you give up to take Mac Jones? That sounds really cool. That sounds really like a lot to pay. But that's really just a good safety, a starting linebacker, and a backup tackle. That's good. Not great, though. And those are also 3 less guys you have to pay. So I'm not saying I would pick Mac Jones. I don't think I would. I'd probably opt for Trey Lance or Justin Fields. But if the 49ers take Mac Jones at 3, like it's heavily rumored, everyone's going to freak out and criticize Kyle Shanahan. And maybe I'm crazy, but I'm actually going to let one of the 5 best coaches in the sport choose the guy who he wants to be his quarterback.